Hey,
Good evening, ma'am.
yeah, good evening, good evening. So you guys are ready to go home?
Yeah,
Work is done?
yeah.
Okay. So,
What are you watching, ma'am?
what do
That's
I
my
watch? You also wanted to ask the same question? Okay, okay. So this is like, you know my guru?
Yes.
Yeah, you see him in all our floors. So this is about a temple that they are planning to construct in Mylapore in Chennai. So this is a video. He is Ganesh Sharmaji. Okay. So these two people had some questions to ask him. So they came and asked him about the trust, about the temple and why in Chennai they are doing it and all. So he is part of the trust. Matlab he is the main member in the trust. So he had answered all the questions. So I wanted to know what he is answering. So I was watching the video.
But all these videos, articles are in Tamil. And what if we want to understand how we can, understand?
Correct. Not only this video, so many other articles on Mahaperiva. That is, my guru is called Mahaperiva. It is all in Tamil. Lot of devotees' experience, the write-ups, articles, his own lectures, all are in Tamil. But now the number of devotees are increasing across the country, across the globe. People who don't understand Tamil, so we have to translate, everything in English. So that's something we have to do in short time. We have to do.
Okay, so just wanted to know what you heard in this video. What was the exactly thing?
That's a good thing. You forget about all the material on Mahapariva translation in English. Right now, what he is saying in this video, he is an expert, authority in this subject. So he talks with that firm conviction. I'm a little bit, I'm a smallest, simplest devotee of Periva. So whatever I understood about the whole project, I can share with you. So I'll tell you in brief. First of all, Mr. Ganesh Sharmaji is somebody known to all the devotees of Mahapariva. So to start with, Mahapariva is a very, he lived for 100 years in this world. Out of that, 87 years he was Matadipati of Kachi Mat. So at the age of 13, he became a sannyasi, Matadipati. Not sannyasi first, he became Matadipati straight away. And he led such a life. So I consider him like if a small boy who became a head of the Mat and he can live such a dharmic life as an example for so many people. So I feel he is the God incarnation. And that is what all the devotees feel. Okay, so and Ganesh Sharma ji, he was working in a company called TAFE, Tamil Nadu based one company. After 20 years, I think around 20 years back, he left the job and he became a full-fledged, Upanyasaka, like somebody who talks about Periva. So he goes to multiple places and talks about Periva in Saptaham format, that is over 7 days he will talk about Periva. So that is what is his full-time occupation. So what they have done, he lives in Mylapore. So in Mylapore they use a small apartment where every Anusham day, by the way, Anusham is the star of Mahaperiva, the birth star. So every month when that Anusham star comes, in fact on 6th November it was Anusham and all devotees did puja to him. So on that day they do puja in the Mylai Anusham trust. Okay, and that puja and the evening procession that they conduct has become so popular amongst devotees. People come, of course forget the COVID time, normal times people come there. So in a small apartment they do puja and 500, 600 people want to participate. And in the evening they put, Periyavaa image along with another devotee, Pradosham Mama's image there and do decorate it with flowers and they take him on a procession around the street of Mylapore, like around the temple of Karpagambal Kapalishwara. By the way, Karpagambal Kapalishwara are the main deities of Mylapore, Chennai, Mylapore temple. Okay, so they go around that procession with Veda Parayan, then in Tamil there is Tevaram, Tiruvashakam, then Bhajan, and live Nadashwaram will be played and it's like a beautiful, divine thing that happens every month. In fact, I had participated in such procession twice. I cannot forget it. It's such a beautiful thing. So now for the procession, there are thousands of people coming. So naturally, the trust people thought they can't continue to do it in an apartment, and once in a year, in the month of May, when the annual birth star comes, like it is called Mylai Anusham, they do a 4 days program where they have all Veda Parayan and so many things like pujas, havans and all that. So for that, thousands of people come. So they hire a hall and do all the puja. So the trust felt it is time, the number of devotees are increasing, we should have a separate place for this. What could be a separate place for a guru, for somebody who's God's incarnation? It has to be a temple. So for temple means, where do they do? Because Mylai Anusham Trust is like, pujas are to be done. It's all Chennai based people who conduct, and people across the country come there to participate. So they have to have the temple in Mylapore only. So that is how the whole idea started, that they should have a temple for Mahaperiyavaa. So that is how it is.
Good. That sounds really good. But there are so many temples in Tamil Nadu which are like poorly maintained. Why can't we take one of the temple under our care and then run it under Mahaperiyavaa's name instead of constructing a very new temple?
That's a very, very good thought and very valid question. This must be going in the minds of many devotees also. Though they are devotees, they will have that question. Why do these people want to construct new temple when old temples are not being maintained? That's correct. But as I told you earlier, the Anusham Trust at Mylapore is conducting every month and once in a year in a big way, and so many people are already coming. So can they just dismantle it just for want of space? They can't. So they have to conduct it. And one more thing is, if you have been to Chennai, and been to Mylapore, there is around that temple area only, there is a big Ramakrishna mutt. So there is Ramakrishna temple is there, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And also the Vedanta Desika, that is Vaishnava, its mutt is there and temple is there. Then there is a huge Sai temple where so many activities happen. That is also very popular. And like there is also the Alvar's temple. So that way, many Mahan, like a great, like Avatar, there are temples. But there is nothing for our Guru, Mahaperiyavaa. So as devotees of Mahaperiyavaa, we feel like, Guru can say, don't do anything for me, I don't want. Like parents say, you get a sari also for your mother. Say, why do you spend your money? I don't want. But will the child keep quiet? No. When they earn money, they want to do for the mother, father, no? So they will feel, no, I will get for you. Like that, we devotees feel, we have to do some for him. We feel that. So we said, like, let's come up with a temple. So that is how this thought came. So of course, when we have that temple, through the activities of this temple, maybe the trust will also take care of some dilapidated temples, because the number of devotees who come here will be very good. And also Mylapore is a very popular tourist attraction center. So lot of people come there whether they know about Mahaperiyavaa or not. So when they see the temple there, they will walk in. And the trustees are planning that they will put up all about Mahaperiyavaa in that temple, and they will put through inscriptions in Tamil and English, and also come up with paintings to tell the story of Periyavaa. So people who can't read even English can see the paintings and understand. So then they will know about him. And a lot of activities are planned, like, it will all happen as the temple comes up. Because, all the devotees are very fond of doing things that are close to the heart of Periyavaa. That is our Guru. Like he was talking about Pidiya Resitittam, which means every day when the house lady cooks food, she takes rice. He will say, take one handful of rice, keep it aside in a vessel. Month end, so much would have collected, take it to a temple, give it there. Along with that, put one rupee every day. End of the month, his days he talked about 1 rupee. Today maybe we have to put 100 rupees because the cost of living is so high. So give that to the nearest temple, and the temple will collect like that from all the people who are around. So much rice and money the temple will get, which will be used for preparing food and giving it to those poor people, those who go without food in the night and all. That can be done. So this sort of schemes he always used to talk about. And also he used to say, go to hospitals, especially the poor hospital where general common man gets admitted, and there people to look after him will be there. So they'll be there, they may not get food and all that. So like they have to be taken care of. Go pray for them, give them food, take care of some expenditure. This sort of very socially relevant thing he always used to talk about. So I'm sure the trustees would start all those activities. One more thing is, like you said, Tamil. Tamil is of course regional language, but there is Sanskrit, which is common to the whole of India. But how many of us know Sanskrit? So people want to learn. So they are also thinking of starting Tamil and Sanskrit classes for people. Maybe they'll do online, offline, everything. So you need place to do all that. So can I continue?
Yes, yes.
So because of this, they need a place. So like they are thinking of this.
Okay, so ma'am, but
So he's
buying,
waiting to ask his question. Yeah, come up, ask.
yeah, so buying a place in Mylapore, it's quite costly and it may runs into crores business.
How
like
do you
that.
know about
So,
Mylapore?
Mylapore is a quite, as it is in center of the city.
Okay.
So it's a
Oh,
quite,
you had been to Chennai. That sounds good.
yeah. So, but ma'am, there's one question in my mind. Like buying a place at Mylapore, instead of getting the same thing into one of villages nearby area, so where we can put all this thing and we can increase the there may be some chance of people are unemployed or something like that. So they may get some economic benefits and all. So getting at those places, these things will helpful to those people. They may earn something, money and all, with the help of these things.
Yeah, very good idea. No, your thought is very, very noble. But see, as I have been telling in this, conversation, the Mylai Anusham Trust is conducting all along, and there are so many people coming there. And can we just leave them because we are shifting the temple to a village? That is one thing. And as I told you, that village temple upliftment can be part of this. Supposing they put up the temple only in a village, only that village can progress. Not many would come there just for that temple. But Mylapore is already a famous place. So when something is done there, people who didn't intend to come there also would be coming there. So it serves multiple purpose. That is why, this makes sense. Yeah, I think I ran out of battery. Anyway, we'll look at the video later. So that's okay. We'll focus on our conversation. Yeah.
But ma'am, does Mylai Anusham already have a property in Mylapore, or do they have to? Are they ready with the funds and all? How are they going to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like wherever, Saraswati has to come, Lakshmi has to come first. The trust has no big money because every month they do it by the donation of the people in the trust or people who come like that. Like this month I put some money that can be used for next month. But nobody is thinking of putting 1 lakh and stuff like that to the trust. So trust is simple, humble trust. Now the thought has come, now they have to start thinking of funds. And the temple, rough estimate they have made is around 12 crores. Because buying a plot in Mylapore itself will run to something like 10 crores. Then you have to construct the temple, then you have to think of maintenance. So 12 to 15 crore is what is the initial estimate. Maybe it will go up, but it is not going to come down. So we were discussing as to how to raise these funds. So we'll come to it later, but we have to think. I have to answer your question as to why Mylapore, because I have digressed from that. You said I can build in a village also. See, Periyavaa, our Guru, and Mylapore, they have specific connection. See, he had come to Chennai in 1930s, first time on his way to Kashi. That time he had stayed in Mylapore. So that place has his presence. That is what we feel. And again, I think in 1958 he came to Chennai and was there for around 500 days, out of which 211 days or so he was in Mylapore in Sanskrit college, and that is where he gave his everyday evening lecture. And those days Tamil magazines called Kalimagad and Kalki, they used to publish those lectures in their magazine, and the magazine circulation increased so much because he was talking of our religion, our tradition, our culture, and about so many Mahans and so many things, like literally a Wikipedia of Hinduism, our religion. So all that end of so after so many years, there is a gentleman devotee called Ra Ganapati. What he did, he compiled them and made them, categorized them subject wise, and republished as book. Vanati Padipakam, there is a publisher. They published this Ra Ganapati's book with the blessings of our Guru. That's called Deivatin Kural, means voice of God. Okay, 7 volumes, big books. It has everything about our religion, about our tradition, about our culture, about so many things which, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And all the devotees of Periyavaa read that book. And that book's birthplace is Mylapore. So naturally we think we have to have a temple there for him. And one more thing is, like there is a devotee called Balakrishna Joshi. So when he was talking with Periyavaa sometime, Periyavaa had told him, I am in the West Gopuram of Western Tower of Kapalishwara temple always. He doesn't say, never he says I am incarnation of God or anything, but it just came out of him. I am always there in the Western Tower of Kapalishwara temple, meaning, hinting that he is always looking at Kapalishwara. That means he is always there in Mylapore. So that is, we feel he is there. So we have to have a temple, so he can be there more comfortable. Not only in Sukshma Rupa, that is unseeable form, in real physical form also. Achavataram De Vaishnavaite say. So we want to have a temple there for that. And there are also other connections, like he had walked almost around that Karpagambal temple, and I remember one more incident. There is a writer called Kiva Jagannathan, very famous writer. He is no more. He was running the Kalimagad publication. His eldest daughter-in-law, when she went and prostrated to Periyavaa, Periyavaa asked her, you are living in Mylapore? She said, yes. Do you go to Karpagamba temple? She said, yes. I go almost every day. Then he asked her, what do you pray? She said, I generally pray for welfare of everybody. Then he said, will you now start praying in the way I tell you? She said, okay. Then he said, whenever you pray to her, you tell her, you have blessed me with a place to live in Mylapore under your feet. Now, in case I get again and again birth, in all my birth I should be born here and I should be in Mylapore, so that I can come and worship you every day, and I must be under your feet. This is what you should pray to her. Means, what he thought of? He thought only those who are blessed souls will be born and they can live in Mylapore. So that is the sanctity he attached to Mylapore. So in that place we should have his temple. That is what we are thinking.
So the trust is not ready with the fund, right, ma'am? Then we have to make too much of fundraising activity also. Has this been informed to your original Kanchi Mutt and approved by the present Acharya?
Yeah, that is a very good question again. See, all we devotees now, whenever we think of even small little functions in our house, like somebody wants to do Brahmobhatyasam for their son or anything, like even we want to go on a pilgrimage, first thing we do is go to Mutt, prostrate to our Acharya and inform him our idea. Then he blesses. Without taking his blessings, we don't do anything. So this is a major project. So naturally, he has been informed and he has blessed the project and he has said, go ahead and do. So his permission is there. So that is taken care of. Yeah, that's a good thought. So I think even you all talk to, if you can't go and physically meet, at least mentally we should think of our gurus and take their blessings before we do anything.
So ma'am, we would like to know more about the trust and all, so that we can share among our friends and family.
That's fantastic. So trust is planning first a temple, then lot of social activities also, and they need funds. So funds, like as I told you, the budget is running to 12 to 15 crores, and there are crores of devotees across the world for Mahaperiva. And we are thinking, even if 5 to 6 to 7,000 people contribute even small amount like 25,000 rupees per family, in every family these days there are 2 to 3, 4 people earning. So all of them combined also, even if they give 25,000 Indian rupees, there are people living abroad in USA, UK, Canada, Australia, Dubai, Singapore, they can give in their currency, convert it to rupees, pay direct to the trust. There is no individual who collects money. The money is all collected into the trust. Their account number, IFSC code is there. That is there in Ganesh Sharmaji's video. We'll share it with you. So even if a family donates 25,000 rupees, like those days people used to do Bhudan. Bhudan means giving a land to somebody. Okay, here somebody can think like this is for the Guru, not for some Vedic Pandit. So can we give Bhudan to him? He doesn't need it, but we need, the trust needs us to make the temple, and Periyavaa is the reason today you and I can conduct small pujas also in our house. All Vedic Pandits were leaving their profession and getting into commercial activities like us. He worked throughout his life for upliftment of Vedas. So he is the reason behind so many Veda Patashalas continuing, flourishing, being there today. So when we give something to him, it is like giving to all those Veda Pandits only too. So it's like Bhudan. Think you are doing a Bhudan and give 25,000 rupees. If like around 7,000-8,000 people give 25,000, we reach the target. So there's no target. The money requirement will only keep on increasing. The fund should keep coming. And again I remember an incident like where in Kamakshi, Kanchipuram, that they were renovating the temple, and Periyavaa came and sat there and saw. He said like earlier there was a golden cover for the main above the sanctum sanctorum, the main tower. Now are you not doing? They said no, we're not doing. He said like how can we renovate the temple without doing that? He said like they didn't say openly. They said like they need certain sovereigns of gold for that. Oh, he understood that they need the gold, without that they can't do. So he just sat down and said, okay, call some gold smith and ask how many sovereigns they will require. Immediately somebody went and found out, and they realized that. He just sat down, and that time one great singer called Maharajapuram Vishwanath Iyer came. So he told him, do you know Kanakadara's Tvam? That is the first shloka that Adi Shankara recited as a small baby to remove poverty in a poor lady's house. Kanakadara Stotram. That's a very popular shloka on Mahalakshmi praying to her to give money. So he just told him, you recite that. When he started reciting, all the people standing around, they also together they started reciting, and he has not uttered one word. He is also chanting along with them. Ladies there started removing their bangles, chain, started putting there. Seeing that men who are wearing earrings and stuff like that, they removed. They also wear chain. So when the sloka was finished, there's a heap of gold chains and bangles and rings and earrings. He just said, call the goldsmith and ask how many sovereigns are there. They found exactly how much was needed for putting that golden, Gopuram cover was there. So he said, this proves that Adi Shankara had really Kanaka Dara happening to that poor old lady. Even today in this Kali Yuga, when we all recite together, it's happening. So it will happen. See, Kamakshi got her gold what she wanted from so many people. And again, one more thing our Periyavaa always insisted is, don't go to big people and collect huge money. Like if you approach corporate, they may just write a check for 1 crore rupees. He doesn't want that. He always said the punya fal, like that punya of doing a good deed should happen to so many people. So when he was, he was always thinking about Veda Rakshana Nidhi Trust, VRNT. My father-in-law was an active member in that, along with late Subraman Mama. They will go house to house to collect money. They were all in income tax department. They could have collected funds from big corporates like that, but they never did that. They will go to every house to collect 5 rupees. They'll explain the whole thing, and finally the person might give 5 rupees, sometimes 1 rupee also those days. Still they will bring that money, make a receipt and give them. Because that good deed ka phal should go to so many people. So in this also, Kanakadhara should happen, but not from one big corporate or one big rich person or few rich people. This good deed should be done by crores of people, thousands of people, lakhs of people, crores of people. Everybody should get the blessings of Mahaperiyavaa. So trust is appealing to all the devotees and those who don't know about Periyavaa also to know about him and to contribute to this cause. So when you build a temple, all your next generations, next 10 generations are taken care of because you have done a good deed. So think of your selfishness also and do bhudan for this. So even 25,000 rupees from each family, from thousands of people will help us complete this. So this is what Ganesh Sharma ji is talking about in this video that I was looking. So I'm happy that you both asked me all these questions because these questions will be there in the minds of many people also. So in this we have sort of tried to answer all the doubts, but in case people have more doubts, more queries, they can always call up on Mylai Anusham Trust. The number is shared in this video, and also send mail. So because how many calls they can take, send a mail, they will answer. Or if somebody wants, they can ask for my number also, I can also give a response. So that is also, we appeal to all the devotees, you people also spread the word to your family, friends. This amount is small, 25,000 rupees is not a big amount for a family. Okay, so if they donate, they get, blessings. Even if they don't donate, my Periyavaa will bless everybody. He is like Avyaja Karunamurti, means without any reason, he will bless. See, today he had blessed you with the thought of him. You got to know about him more. So that blessings is there on you. So these are all, he chooses the people with whom he should be doing his work. So maybe he has chosen 3 of us to talk about him today this time. Anyway, so he will bless everybody. We just want more, people to get into this and see to it that the temple comes up real fast. That is it. So thank you Prajna, thank you Ujjwal. I'm so happy for having, discussed about my Periyavaa, talked about him the last, 10-15 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am,
you.
for making us understand and explaining us the life of Mahaperiyavaa and the good deed what the trust is planning and going ahead with. We wish the trust and all the devotees of Mahaperiyavaa.
You are also a devotee now.
Including me, of course, including
Yeah,
me.
all your
We
wish
hope to-
will come true.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, ma'am.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. For Ujjwal also, all his wishes will come true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It should be for everyone. It should be good deed always.
yeah.
And we hope to visit the temple.
Yes, yeah, very soon.
And very soon,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And tell people who are going to Chennai also to go to Mylapore and
Let's
see.
give a visit here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am.
Yeah.